Mama hoo hoo. All right, we're going to interview a few people because there are so many people having fun with Dota. Where are you from?
I'm from South Africa.
And what are your thoughts on this tournament so far?
It's amazing. It's perfect. And the series, Anna is having the games of his life. Yeah, for sure. I love every second, and Miracle is my favorite play the last 4 years. Go either way. Just a message for Chinese fans: 中国的 Dota 最好 Dota.
Nice, yeah. I love it. All right, I'm going to hand this to you. Can you be trusted?
Yes. Are we about to see the last game of TI9? What did you do?
Excuse me?
Are we about to see the last game of TI9? Is OG going to win the tournament?
Yeah, of course.
Well, oh, you sound very confident. How do you know that?
Yeah, because they have the best mid and the best carry. Of course.
Whoa, all right, you heavily disagree.
No, support Liquid. Liquid!
Why is Liquid going to come back?
I love Temple Assassin very much. It's my favorite hero, so I support double three.
Templar Assassin doesn't look very good after those last 2 games. Are you sure?
But he plays well when he against LGD. LGD is my favorite team, so yeah, we respect them.
Does anyone think Liquid is going to take this? Yes! Does anyone think? Oh. Let's go Liquid! Let's go Liquid! Does anyone think OG's going to take it? OG? Sounds pretty divided, Casey.
It is. Oh no! We're in the middle of a Dota war.
Oh, we gotta get out of
We've
here.
got Dota OG versus Dota Liquid, and all of these people. Look at everybody lining up, so excited about the Dota.
I'll be real with you, I don't care who wins. I just like watching people fight. Let's get back into that series, girl. TI9 is wrapping up.
Wait.
What?
Do you have any idea how you actually sound when you're this loud?
No.
Casey, we're gonna play some goats. Yeah. Okay. Woo!
I don't think I'm that cringy. I think I'm actually rather suave. I do an impression of you, but I respect you too much. Now, Shiver, please take us out of this embarrassing moment for Casey.
Thank you. I actually thought Casey was pretty spot on with that one.
Thank you.
I'll get
Very
you finished,
impressive.
Shiver.
Don't worry, let's cut the camera. You'll get them later. I mean, you got the fans. They are very divided. I love seeing that. There's Liquid fans, there's OG fans. The fans are very loud here, too, in the Mercedes-Benz Arena. But we need to get to it, though. We need to talk about what's going to happen in game number 4 because Liquid need to step it up, gods.
They do. And I think it's not just stepping up and playing better. I think it's switching some things up with how they approach the game, picking less greedy heroes, whether it's Mind Control or Weeha. Somebody needs to be more active. You can't just rely on the supports to create space.
Yeah, 100%. I think that Tide Hunter finally going to be gone. Maybe we'll see something like an Ogre coming back, even though I believe it was first phase banned. They just need someone who can just run straight at him, and I'm just not even sure what heroes are in the pool that can do that. That's how hard it is to play against OG.
Yeah. We heard Fabi say earlier that during a TI finals, the meta normally changes. That is the case in this finals as well, it seems, as we have had Tidehunter be one of the most successful heroes, turning into one of the least successful heroes in the grand finals here. I'm very curious, because obviously the teams are getting 2 minutes, that would be very short, 10 minutes in between games to just reset and, talk about what they will change in the finals. Jack, you've been on the manager side of things for that. What is the team talking about? Are they talking Dota strats? Are they mentally preparing? What's happening in the backstage?
I think you're just watching what's going on, and you're usually preparing kind of for, I would guess in a situation like this for both opponents. Maybe they had their favorite on who was going to win, but there also isn't that much time to really drastically change things, so it's not like you can spend all that time just suddenly, dreaming up something new and trying to make it work. So I'm sure they had kind of a plan coming in. I'm sure they saw some of the heroes that were more popular from both teams that were being used in general, and maybe that's why you're seeing this Pugna or something else that they think works out. I'm also a little bit surprised by Liquid so far this series. Against LGD, they seem to want to play incredibly fast and really push the pace early on, and frankly, punished LGD at least in a few of those games, if not all of them successfully. But yet this series, they seem to have a bit of a different approach to that. So I'm not really sure why that is. But again, I don't think there's that much time either for Kuro to go back to the drawing board and say against OG we got to do something entirely different.
You might just be stuck doing what you're doing and hope you just have a perfect game right, because if you swap it up now, you might just make your players uncomfortable.
Yeah, it is very difficult to swap your entire playstyle, and perhaps it's even better to just at least go out what you're more comfortable with. And speaking of going out, the players are about to go out of the backstage. I don't know if that works that way, but they're about to go in to the pods. A 1-game lead for OG, and that means they are 1 game away from being back-to-back international champions. And that also means that Liquid is with their backs against the ropes. But guess what? They've been in this situation before. They ran all the way through the lower bracket. They know that they are capable of dealing with this OG squad. And I believe that they are gonna put one heck of a fight in this 4th game of this best-of-5 series. They want to push it to 5. They got the power. Do they have the strats? Does our men have the strats? I think this is where coaches come in, right? This is where you're gonna have all those strats that you had prepared, and then you gotta know and trust that they still work.
Yeah, you do. I mean, on those papers, usually it's if I draft this, if they draft this, I'm going to draft this. But, I mean, you want to stick with that, but clearly it's not working. So maybe you go to, that 2nd, that 3rd, that 4th page in the back, and you're like, all right, we got to dig deep for this one because we don't want to get run over at 20 minutes again.
Saving strats.
The coaches get to see the big picture. The players in the game are so emotionally invested and involved that they're maybe just seeing what's going on in their little microcosm of the game. So the coaches have to come up big. They need to, be able to give the kind of feedback to make those small tweaks that can change a game 4 around.
An invaluable role in Dota 2, definitely one that has evolved over the years as well. Of course, it's only been a couple of years that coaches are even allowed in the booth while drafting, and that has definitely changed. I do want to point out that both of these coaches, we were talking about Soxka on the side of OG and RMN on the side of Team Liquid, they're both original Dota players, as in, we've seen them in TI. RMN was only a sub in TI1, but we're counting that, for the moment.
With Kuroki, he was on Ghost Gamers with Kuroki.
Yep. And Soxka, of course. Soxka has played together with Seb 3.5 years of his career before he took a break to pursue other avenues. But both of these guys, they are fulfilling a sort of, it feels like a similar role. They're like the right hand of the captain. They're not sitting in the drafting seat as we see in Chinese teams.
Yeah.
They're just taking a different role. It proves to be the more successful.
Yeah,
it
seems to be. I mean, we saw it. I mean, it's kind of the same in the Western scene with Sunby, right? He's definitely not there like telling Puppy what to pick. He's back there, Maybe they have a question, he'll answer it. They'll be like, "What do you do if they do this?" And he'll just be there to help them out, like move them along. But at the end of the day, whoever's clicking that button, they have the final say.
Yeah, drafts have become, I think, a very team effort too. Like you heard OG talk about their last TI Grand Finals in True Size, as well as their documentary. A lot of it was just putting players on their comfort hero and letting them decide what hero they're going to be playing rather than a captain or drafter saying, you're playing this.
Yeah, and coaches obviously can have very different roles. Sometimes you need someone who's better with the kind of team atmosphere, team psychology, maybe being a bit of a goon as well to make sure people have fun and have a good time and can rebound from losses. Other times you need someone who's a bit more strategically focused or analytical. It kind of really depends on what the team needs. The Dota 1 trend you mentioned is kind of interesting because last year OG's coach, also an old Dota 1 veteran. So is this a new trend? Is this a thing? Do the top teams have to go
find
someone from Dota 1?
Yep.
We're going to find out if we are going to have a 5th game to the series or if OG is going to be back-to-back champions right now. It is time for Game 4 of the Grand Finals of the International.
OG versus Team Liquid. Grand Finals, Game 4.
Game 4 beginning with the draft. I'm joined by Pylai and Gunner, but don't get too comfortable, all right? Pi, I got a question for you. If it was newbie grand finals and there's a lot of talk about coaches, if AUI is like, I'm gonna give another TA another go, what would be your reaction? Are you gonna be like, all right, you're the coach, you know what's best, or are you gonna be like, dude, this TA is really not working out?
I mean, I would at least give him a minute to explain.
Okay.
Like, I would hope he would have a reason, Like, and then I would listen to it, and then after that I would decide. But I would probably like, I would not want to do it. That's how I'm feeling like right now. I'm not in the finals or anything. I'm not drafting here, but I'm just not feeling that hero.
Yeah,
right
and
now.
if we're trying to find symptoms of why Liquid are just getting obliterated in these past 2 games, it definitely seems like the Templar Assassin is not helping them.
Yes. It just seems that it has too many bad matchups versus Thompson's favorite heroes that like run you over. Because I can see the idea why they think it would be good. Like all these traps to make it hard to run in. But if you lose your lane that bad, and it's also like affects, like they're losing that lane and they're losing every other lane these past 2 games. And when you do that, like, I don't know, like, what do you do? It's just extremely hard to play.
I think, like you said, it's really not good against Thompson's hero pool, right? Like TA, Thompson's not like a standard mid laner, right? I don't think you see him as this like TA, SF, Storm, right?
Yeah.
You see him as this like Pugna, Monkey King, you know, Ember to an extent, right? Yeah.
And then I guess Invoker, but even
yeah, Invoker,
that,
stuff like that.
traditional, yeah.
TA beats like all the standard heroes, so everyone's really used to playing as TA. And all his heroes are just good against TA. So it's like you said, he's just kind of used to, I'm pretty sure, just beating TA in his game. Yeah.
Oh, and
no.
as we see the first phase bans, what's the new change? Elder Titan gets banned out, and guess what slips through? It's the IO. OG immediately snap it up.
Yeah, they haven't lost, yeah?
Pi, you were a victim of some Ana IO. What was that experience like?
No, it's one of those, like, the game was, we're feeling pretty good. And then suddenly, like, when that hero hits his timing, like 15 with Ags, like, you're just dying. Like, you're just dying. And I think it's not very complicated to play for him. Like, they don't really care how he does in lane. Like, they want to do fine. But then he's just farming jungle. Like, that's all he does. And he has a very, like, he looks at a fight, right? And he's like, if I want to be there, I click the spell and I'm there. If I don't want to be there, I'm just going to continue to farm.
It's like having an alchemist combined with a specter in one hero.
A little bit. Like, he doesn't farm that fast, but he farms, like, he doesn't farm that much slower than anyone else. Yeah. And he has insane timings.
His timings are just like better for the gold he gets than most other carries.
Yeah.
His 15 Ags is like,
yeah, it's
probably the best
insane.
15 timing I think in the game right now.
Probably.
Now, before talking about our game, it was like the first pick ET, right? And I'm like, oh shit. The Wisp is in the pool. I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna pick Wisp. And like everything, like I had thought about, like everything just looked weak. Like everything just felt weak. And then like, yeah, but then you take a deep breath, you just go with whatever. And like, we can do this.
And Liquid take a breath, and they go for the Chen, which did bring them success in their first game, and they take the Omni Knight, which OG had picked earlier.
I'm a little surprised they didn't go for AA. I believe it's been banned out every game here, because like
because the Alchemist AA.
Yeah, it's Alchemist. It's good versus, pretty good versus Shen, pretty good versus Omni Knight. I don't think OG will pick it here though. It's kind of awkward playing with a Wisp.
They don't really have stuns either.
Yeah. So I'm hoping Liquid have like, you know, their last pick, right? So they have like a lot of avenues opened up now. I hope.
I'm a little scared right now of this Wisp because.
Only a little.
Yeah. Okay. So commonly.
Wait, of this Wisp or for this Wisp?
Of.
Oh, okay.
Because commonly you want like a hero that gets on top of this Wisp, right? Especially that 15 timing. He's scariest when his balls are max range.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's able to like chase you, and then you get slowed. So if you get a little closer, he pulls him in a little, and he stays at this like max range basically. And neither of those heroes are full commit heroes, right?
Right.
The Omni can supplement like one if you have like an Ember, say, right? He can go in with a Grace, and that's decent. But these two are more like you want to fight. They want you to fight into them, right? They want you to find this Chen and this Omni for a lot of heal. And I think that's playing the Wisp's game right now.
This actually reminds me a bit. Liquid plays Secret, right?
Yeah.
And I believe Secret picked Wisp one of the games.
Yes.
They did. And it was one of those, like, and Liquid had a similar like thing going on there with like a lot of heal and like they would push down buildings, and they just didn't let Secret get to their timings. Like they already had a Rax before Wisp was level 15.
Wasn't that was that the Meepo game though?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, it was the Meepo
So
game.
Meepo is banned out.
Meepo's already gone. Yeah. So now I'm hoping. That's why I'm like, I'm hoping they have something, because you need this extreme, like it just kills everything that's in front of it. So maybe a Leshrac or something like that. Lesh is gone,
banned.
so
Yeah, OG's been consistently banning that.
yeah, because I don't want them to end up with the life stealers or something.
Yeah.
I don't. I
Other
think it'll be
teams
very
had
hard
tried
to
the
play.
Lifestealer against the IO, and it did not work.
Yeah.
I mean, it's too slow, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you get this Midas Radiance timing, and you're still weaker than the Wisp.
Yeah. And they also have to. Okay, there's a tiny pick, but GeForce has played it now. Thompson has played it, so they'll probably like hold on a bit. They'll see who plays it later. Because we played against the Bristleback mid with Iron, and that was spooky. That was fright.
The other ones they've played are Gyro mid,
Yeah.
Troll mid, and Windrunner mid. So a bunch of these like attack speed or attack targets, I guess, steroids kind of thing.
So in this Secret versus Liquid game that Team Secret had picked the IO, Liquid went for a Chen, a Tidehunter, an Earth Spirit, a Leshrac, and a Meepo.
Yeah.
So the Meepo and Leshrac are banned out. Tidehunter's still available, but we're not enthusiastic about that
So-
hero. But Bristleback gets selected instead.
This was Liquid versus, or no, this was Secret versus
Secret
Vici,
versus-
right? That they picked Omni Bristle versus the Elk.
Yes.
Yeah, and then they ran this Omni Bristle and they won the game in 20 minutes.
Yeah. I hope that's what they're going for. I mean, I'm guessing that. And I think they kind of stole it a bit from OG now too, the Bristle. Limited their options.
OG had a Wisp, right, with it though? It was like Omni Bristle Wisp.
Yes.
That was way scary, but they have a Chen to kind of like take place of the Wisp.
Yeah.
Most likely a no-tail about it.
Yeah, because I feel like how the drafts are setting up, like Liquid actually have a chance here to get a draft that they can end this game quickly with.
What about a 3 Abba?
Yeah.
You laid in against the Omni Knight?
I mean, I'm guessing that's like something like that. I haven't really seen. I know that RNG played a lot of Abaddon.
Some of the Chinese teams play it as a 3.
I didn't look at a lot of replays though. I'm not really sure how strong is in lane or what his timing.
They go like 0-2-1. They don't. They skip Miscoil early, and then they go early like Vlad Solar Crest and just kind of buff your team up.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes they'll just straight up take Curse at 1 and just harass.
Yeah, just hit people.
Yeah.
So they picked Liquid pick Earth Spirit, right? Last time they were against Wisp in the Secret game.
Yeah.
So I think they're kind of like confident, right, with what happened.
I think they're feeling pretty good right now.
But they're still lacking the most important thing in that draft, in my opinion, which was the Leshrac and the Meepo. These are heroes that take structures during the downtime period, which Bristleback can kind of achieve that, but he needs some levels and some farm. He's definitely much slower than a Meepo or a Leshrac.
Yeah. So the last pick for Liquid is interesting. But on the other hand, like they'll see OG's picks now, and Timbersaw.
Timbersaw. So a hero that can deal with Bristleback. Obviously, if you have reactive armor, then you're not too concerned about Quill Spray being spammed on you.
Yeah, I mean for OG it's good that they picked this because they need to buy time when Liquid are running down lanes. So, like they can cut waves, spam out creep waves. So they need something like that.
How does this Wisp scale to like 30, 35, 40 minutes? Like, do you think this OG
games
lineup
never go late enough?
Yeah, no, I have a feeling like if Liquid don't have like a substantial advantage by Wisp hitting 15 with Axe, I think this game is going to be really hard for them. It's just too much consistent damage without them being able to go on. Like they have an Abaddon just shielding this Wisp, right? Like, if it gets to that point, then Liquid are not ahead. I think this. We still have one more pick. Like maybe they'll pull something out. But how it's looking right now, like they need to get an advantage within the like first 25 minutes.
So even if the game's even at like 25 minutes, you think they'll lose, right?
Yeah. I feel OG should be.
What a great hero Wisp is these days.
Oh yeah. I mean, to be fair, this is nothing new. IO being first phase picked is a very common thing in Dota 2 history. It's just not in this role exactly.
No, exactly. No. That's the funny part. You're just first picking. Everyone knows it's your carry. It's carry Wisp right there.
I mean, I don't think it's had this high of a win rate, right? I think it has like maybe 1 loss.
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember like back. I think it was TI when it was released, like TI3, I guess. Then I'm pretty sure the win rate was insane.
The first TI that he showed up was pretty insane. Yeah. Even though it was very Western biased, very few Chinese teams were doing it. I think it was just eHome at the time with their tinies and stuff.
Oh yeah, that was like TI2, I think. And they won every game they played.
That's right.
Really? Yeah.
But other teams were still sleeping on it. Yeah. Every single. That's one of the reasons why I considered Liquid. I had mentioned this on an earlier draft panel. Earlier in the season, Liquid weren't looking too great, and it's because IO wasn't in captain's mode.
Yeah.
You had a free ban against Liquid every single time.
Yeah.
Just now, it's a carry IO, which it's a brave new world.
Yeah. No, but the funny part about the carry IO is it's not some high skill cap. It's nothing like that. It's
pretty straightforward.
It's very straightforward. It's
you go Bassi.
Yeah.
You buy your Helmet Dominator.
Yeah.
You buy Ags. You buy Heart.
Yeah.
Win the game.
And once you have Heart, you can ditch your Hod creep and tether your mid laner.
Yeah.
Or your off laner.
Which, that's a good question. So do you think OG are going to look for someone to enable with their IO, like how they did the Bristleback in the past, or is the dude self-sufficient enough that if you have like the Tiny and the Timbersaw, that's the only partner you need?
Yeah, I'm a little curious how they're thinking about the lanes here. I don't think Thompson plays Timbersaw.
I haven't seen it before.
So
it may have happened.
I'm guessing this is an off-lane Timbersaw.
Do you think there's any world
where this Wisp is not a carry.
okay.
Oh,
Now there might be, actually.
I think it's a mid gyro. Yeah.
Okay.
Off lane, there's side lane Timber versus there's Bristleback.
Yeah.
And then a 4 Tiny, a 5 Abba, carry Wisp.
One Nana, okay.
That sounds about what they would do. No, because I think if Wisp is still viable as a 4 with gyro. Because that lane, if you play that right, it's really strong.
Or you can just let both of them be cores,
Yeah.
and then it's really, really strong.
Then it gets extra spice. So Liquid needs a carry or a mid, depending on what they want this Bristle to do.
OG is expecting it to be a mid because they banned out the Shadow
So
Fiend.
I think the Bristle gyro lane is actually decent for the Bristle. Okay.
So it's not going to be a Templar Assassin, but we'll go to another Weehawk Classic. It will be the Wind Ranger.
I like the idea of the hero better. I don't know how good it is this game. I'm unsure. I actually don't think it's that good. But like the idea is correct. Like you have spells that you can use on them. It has a lot of damage that they can actually kill the Wisp at the start, right? Even through shield, I think. The Wisp is killable if the winner has like MKB, BKB.
Right.
You can't really stop him. Wisp doesn't really go MKB either for the evasion, so
it's rare. But I guess also in a traditional sense, like IO being tethered to another unit gives potential shackle targets, stuff like that. But this is the last potential game for Team Liquid. Will they be able to stay in this grand final bracket? Maybe Purge can give a little bit more explanation as we pass it to him with the last word.
If you guys are just getting here, IO is the carry that has been dominating the tournament, at least one of them. If they can break it, but they were able to use earlier to defeat it. So it's going to be a lot harder to beat it. So what they ended up doing instead is trying to abuse Chen. One of the benefits of Chen is that his aura increases the healing that any of his nearby allies or creeps give, and they're pairing that with another hero that can heal, Omni Knight. So those two guys can heal and buff up their strong tanky hero Bristleback and make him pretty close to unkillable. But on the other side, what OG's playing around with is also pretty strong. They've got Io, they've got the Tiny, they've got Abaddon who can also buff up, but most importantly they have Timbersaw. And Timber's a hero that has some flexibility in how effective he is, but most importantly his first skill will reduce the strength or primary stat, and there's a lot of strength heroes over on the Liquid side, so it's very possible that Timber can run away with this game if he has a good match. Keep an eye on him. Without further ado, Game 4 of the TI Grand Finals. Let's start up the casters.
Thank you, Purge. Game 4. OG up at the moment in this best of 5, 2-1 against Liquid. Their last two games, some of the most dominant performances we've seen from them from the entire tournament. In this game 4, Liquid, they have had the chance to switch it up. We're not seeing the TA. We are going to be going back to the Weehawk Wind Ranger. It is something a little different. It's something we know he's good at, but is it good enough to beat the OG IO, Giannis?
They've definitely looked to go for something that's more early game centric. The last two drafts, they went for the Tidehunter, the TA, and a Jug, or Tidehunter, TA, and Lifestealer. Very slow paced draft. This time, they get their Chen. They've been very good with the Chen, as we saw them also playing it earlier on today. They're very good at playing aggressive and making moves around the map, either with GH playing a Tusk or GH playing Urspray. I feel like I always see them having one of these two combos with that Chen to make those moves around. And Bristleback too. This is a very early paced hero, as we see the Goo as well as the Spray get picked up at 1 and 2, and you are pretty much the strongest hero on the map when you have that. And we see them immediately set up with an aggro tri-lane. They have a Headdress on Kuroki for that extra health regen, and they really want to put the pressure to shut down Ana on the IO.
Let's see if they can do it. We saw some scary stats on the Ana IO low entering into this game. He is 19-1 in the last 20 games he's played, and of course here at TI, 5-0. No one has been able to beat him. Liquid are going to have to see if they can do it in their last chance here.
No, this is the Goo that we're talking about, that really strong level 1. Well, they can actually go to dive him though. He has a shield available, and they actually can. He doesn't have a salve on himself this time around though, like he did in the last two games. And also, I believe with the carry IO, not every single time, but they did have an Elder Titan with it most of the times. That's where I feel like it helps a lot when you're playing into aggro lanes, because you cannot aggro tri-lane into an Elder Titan most of the time. So this time it's going to be a Abaddon who's not nearly as strong as that ET.
Oh, we'll see Liquid with that start, able to make sure that the creep wave meets underneath the tower so they can get them the creep equilibrium in their favor. Very interesting to watch some of these other lanes, see how Weehawk can get off to a start against the tops and mid gyro. He should have a decent shot here, right, in this 1v1?
Yeah, he should be able to. He has higher base damage. The thing about Gyrocopter is you have this
godly animation. One of the best animations in the game that's absolutely instant on range heroes, and you have missiles, and you have a Tiny who's going to constantly be throwing Weehaw back into the tower.
That's a lot of hands there, and it all looks to add up. They drag him back, he's got the point in the win run, looking for the body blocks. JerAx won't be able to quite get it entirely, but still able to get a good amount of damage done to Weehaw in mid.
Has to be careful for that next toss back as JerAx is going to go for it again.
He is. JerAx going deep behind the tower, seeing if he has the control. Up he goes with the toss. Thompson closing in. Wim runs back online. As Weehaw can hold his distance, but OG already getting incredibly aggressive in this middle lane.
It's the way they like to play with JerAx on the Tiny. Just run around, shut down the mid laner. Doesn't matter what hero it is. You're going to be able to just throw him every single time he walks up for a toss. Weehaw gets his full salve off.
We're certainly seeing though down bottom, this tri-lane, it is able to bring these heroes down pretty low. Obviously the question is if they can push them over the edge and get the kills, but the aggression certainly is there. And once the level 2s come out for the 3 members of Liquid, we'll see that pressure amped up even more. JerAx is going to come down, help turn this duo into a tri-lane from OG as Kuro pops the Fairy Fire, won't save it. Miscall from N0tail, gets the kill. Now Anna's going to be the focus. Miracle and GH trying to get on top of him, but a quick body block from N0tail and a shield handed over to Anna will mean that Liquid cannot chase any further.
Just eyes on JerAx, right? JerAx is going to just move from lane to lane to lane, looking to just punish the aggressive tri-lane of Liquid, as they can't really respond too well. Chen, not really a hero that wants to be moving around TPing at all. It's GH who has to respond to any types of ganks that JerAx does, and it doesn't feel nearly as good as an Earthspirit, and he's kind of limited on mana as well.
So it sort of talks about the mid, talks about the bottom, this top lane. 1v1, Seb versus Mind Control, the Timber versus the Omni. What do we expect from this matchup?
I haven't gotten to see this one too often, but I think that they're both going to just be able to farm. I think Seb might actually be able to bully Mind Control a bit, just because you don't have to worry too much about your regen. While on Mind Control, you have to worry about your mana sometimes. But I think they're both going to just end up trading farming, pulling creep waves and whatnot like that, so should be relatively even.
No, definitely seeing though, this pressure down bottom is continuing to make sure it's very hard for Anna to farm with the rolling onto N0tail. Liquid. I'll take one out of the lane. Anna only being able to get 4 CS so far in this bottom lane. Already Liquid's change up in draft and different approach. It's looking so much better here in the first 3 minutes of game 4.
Oh, for sure. 16 and 11 on Miracle, right? He's getting all these free last hits and denies.
They are running this bottom lane perfectly, keeping this tri-lane advantage.
Top is just manipulation of free waves, because I think Mind Control is starting to realize that if he stays toe-to-toe versus the Timber, he's going to have some problems, so he's cutting the wave. JerAx is running over toward the area. He's only level 1 though, so still not having that stun available for the Tiny just yet to go for those toss back into the tower and stun plays. And it looks like they will be constantly burning the mana of N0tail with this Satyr Mind Stealer that is keeping him very low on mana.
For Liquid, obviously the interest to keep this pressure on, and then they have to find objectives with it. Anna, as the IO, will have that comeback mechanic. Sort of once he hits the level 4, going into the jungle, using the Spirit to farm those neutrals. So they've got to make as much as they can happen in this favorable lane setup that Liquid have. Another commitment on towards Anna, separating him from N0tail. He'll be able to tether himself back across, so if they can beat down through this overcharge. N0tail pops the stick charges, the Spirits surround. Turn towards Miracle, but Mango's popped. He still has the mana to fight with. Another shield will hold them all.
It really is a pretty fun lane though coming out from OG, right? He's like, oh, I just healed the IO, and the IO heals me. So they're going to be able to always do that and be able to remove all those blue stacks up with the shield as well. It's actually a really clever lane coming out. And he's even maxing, or putting multiple points inside that miscoil for the health efficiency. He miscoils the IO and heals himself for even more because of that.
5-minute runes come up. And OG, they want to try and tackle this 3-on-3. N0tail doing his best to draw their attention away. The avalanche is out onto Miracle. JerAx tries to chase the other, but Liquid, they'll be able to grab both of them. Taking the bouncy runes away. Only the one going the way of OG up top. As Liquid continuing to look like this different approach to the lanes is certainly the answer they've been looking for.
They're not killing them though. They've only killed N0tail once because of how many stick charges they're getting fed down here. The Bristleback just constantly spamming the Quill, spamming the Goo. Everyone's sitting at like 10 stick charges every time they try to make an aggressive move. Now Miracle is up a bit far here.
JerAx is going to be able to make sure that Miracle cannot make the smooth run up towards the top. Another shield's out for N0tail. He may be low, but he's more than safe. JerAx with the toss-up. GH pops the stick charges. He's trying to escape. N0tail keeping on top of him. That Aphotic shield's going to pop soon. It may not even need to as GH is running. One more right click or a miscoil out. That'll do it. The shield pops. They get the kill. Anna does fall though. Liquid getting the trade.
Nice. And he actually did not pop his magic one there. A bit too much damage coming in. I think the Alpha Wolf and the right click from the Chen caught him off guard how much it actually was there. But mid is the big one. These rotations from JerAx from earlier, Thompson has over a full level advantage onto Weehaw now.
He's struggling.
34-13 to the 19-4. This animation and just getting that extra Wraith Band early really coming into play. And bottom.
Roll up for GH, but a great toss from JerAx keeps Anna on top of the Earth Spirit. Spirits are out though. So the damage looks like it may not be there unless they can keep the vision, and they can. Tossed in, stick charge pop though. GH, he's got Miracle by his side. They won't be able to dive for him, and Liquid keep them all alive.
But so they've done a good job bottom of making sure the Miracle's farm. Thompson though getting aggressive top onto Mind Control. They should be able to chase this one back. The counter out of mana. They popped the Shrine for some mana for the Timber, but Mind Control will be fine. Liquid being forced to use their bottom Shrine too, because the one thing that they're doing, they were putting pressure on and they were getting good farm, but the sustain that's actually coming out from this bottom lane is just too much for them mid here, as Ana is starting to get this farm built up to those 20 last hits.
The mid lane seems to be the focus for Liquid. They've left Miracle alone. They're trying to collapse in onto Thompson. He gets the cooldown off with the Hellbear, smashes in with the clap. Liquid making these moves around Kuro and his army. Getting the pressure on, catching out Thompson mid. Gotta keep this tempo up. They're starting to really show that they have within them what OG's been bringing in the first 7 minutes of the last 2 games. They can match this tempo.
And look at Miracle, but down bottom, even pulling away these 2 heroes, even though they do have all their wand charges built up. Now it's up to 17 as well. He is pushing them away from the creep wave. That double sustain though coming into play.
Back to Mold's mid, another collapse here from Liquid as they look to dive in on JerAx. They get the kill. Thompson's going to look to try and turn, keep himself on top of Kuro. He has his army ready to tank some of the damage. Thompson is not going to be able to get this kill by the looks of it. Another one charge from Kuro keeps it back alive. The cooldown will be dropped, but Liquid, they can get themselves out of range of it.
They have so much damage in the mid lane right now for Liquid. With Weehaw rushing that Javelin build, he's able to actually punch back onto Thompson pretty hard there every time he does commit forward for a kill. Gives a lot of time to Seb though, as they made that 4-man rotation earlier. Now he's all the way up to level 8. He's got the max reactive armor.
Same to be said though for Mind Control. We're seeing pretty much continuation of an even farm between these offlaners.
Yep.
They're both getting exactly the same amount out of this top half of the map. And so far, no one else has been interested in coming over and getting involved. Now, though, that will change. GH and Kuroki, they're looking towards Seb. Gonna bring in Weehaw as well. Weehaw, the focus fire. Have they got the control? There's the rolling with the stun. Shackle shot follow up for Weehaw, along with the power shot. Will do it. Liquid making the maneuvers to put Seb's happy little time on that top lane to an end.
Great use of the Divine Favor there from Kuroki to bring Weehaw around freely and saving his TP, so he can constantly move around the map if he has to respond to anything else. Very nice aggressive move, and that's the Javelin coming into play. Since it's magical damage, it's 100 bonus magical damage when you use that Focus Fire versus Timber. Who cares if he has 25 reactive armor stacks? They get themselves a decent amount of pressure on the tower too, getting it down to about 700 HP right now.
Seb's going to come back in, make sure that tower doesn't fall too early.
GH is already moving his way toward top. They don't have another Divine Favor to bring into the Wind Ranger.
I feel like it's a hard kill without that damage that Weehaw offers.
Feels like an impossible kill without Weehaw.
The 3 of them can only sort of sit to the side and watch as Seb farms the wave under the tower.
Yeah.
See what their intentions are with this move. 10-minute runes are going to come up. See if Liquid can keep a favourable hold of them this time. Mid lane's going to be the focus. TP's coming immediately, and he gets the shackle off actually before the missile connects. He's able to turn right click into JerAx. He's tanking the tower to JerAx. Lines of the power shot. He's not going to be able to find it though. Doesn't get the angle, and JerAx, he can continue to walk away. Liquid are chasing. Another power shot will be available in a second. Can Weehaw hit it? He's going to try. Not going to find it. JerAx, he's got the position to TP out behind the trees and will make it back to safety. But Weehaw does live.
They waste so much of their time there, and even a TP to protect Weehaw. What does that mean? That's just the space. This is what OG wants to do, right? Allow Ana to catch back up after he had a little bit of a rough laning start and get the Dominator, and the Dominator is finished now at this 10-minute mark. So that is where you really start to get enabled quite a lot in the IO to make your moves around the map. But Liquid, they're trying to keep the pressure going. Don't let OG get away with that greed that they're trying to pull off right now. Try to get some tower damage. Every single time a tower is going to start getting pressure, though, you'll see this rotation by Sam. He wants to make sure they don't actually get any of these towers too early. He doesn't have many reactive stacks built up just yet, but he will be okay.
Mid lane Thompson. You see a dive here from Weehaw. Weehaw tried to close in for the kill, but he didn't have the damage to bring Thompson down. Thompson was able to just drop the combos. Weehaw, he got in close range for that attempt.
You got to be careful as well. Ana, he's jungling in the area, so he can just easily tether, hop. I don't know if you guys did the overcharge there, I didn't catch the end of it, but he can easily tether in it. You can get a little bit of extra HP regen that comes into play.
Looking for JerAx.
JerAx again.
Committing with the magnetized, TPs will now start to come into play. Thompson's here, JerAx still alive. They're trying their best to hunt him down through the trees. He'll be able to toss back the Hellbait Smasher. Rock is dropped to keep the magnetized going. They'll get the kill on JerAx. See if they can find anything in return. OG Thompson, he's on top of Kuroki. GH, Weehaw joining the gang. They're surrounding Thompson with a divine favor, bringing Weehaw in. Liquid, they're going to be able to get both of them. Kuroki making these moves across the map, bringing in the team when required. Kuro, he's 3, 1, and 4. Every single one of these 7 kills has been down to Kuro and his map movements.
And his aggressive plays. They're not expecting these recalls. They're not expecting these divine favors at all. Every single time he's been able to set it up. And he's almost got a mech finished up on this Chen so early on. It's going to be a lot of burst heal. And like the draft panel mentioned, you look at Liquid's draft and they're really trying to set the tempo. They're trying to be aggressive, get early towers down with this Chen, with this Bristleback, and try to get an early roast and get that big advantage to take advantage of carry IO. You have to try to take advantage of it somehow.
They're waiting there on the high ground. They'll immediately burst through the Aphotic Shield. No-Tail, he's trying to run. The Smasher's after him. No-Tail's got the backup of Ana. Mind Control's going to head in. Liquid, they're diving on board. GH will be kept safe by the Heavenly Grace. Kuro may have dove a little too far this time. Will be surrounded. The 4 of them take down Kuro, put an end to his reign across the map. As OG responding in their numbers now in that middle lane, they won't let Liquid get away with this any longer.
They still, OG has a very strong way to fight, even in the early game. Even if they do have a greedy IO pick, it's what it provides you, especially when you have a Gyro. Gyro is all about that early fights, same thing with Tiny. And even Timbersaw, but Seb right now, we know he doesn't really want to show up except for the tower defenses. And he's also going to be matching that Chen, who's going to be an early mech. It's actually going to be a mech Timbersaw since they have IO. So this amount of sustain that could come out from OG pretty soon is going to be pretty hard for Liquid to deal with this. Seb, he actually jumps forward for GH.
Hey, goes deep. Weeha's going to turn with a focus fire. Seb, of course, has got the max reactive armor. Thanks to that, Shackle won't latch. Seb, continue to back off. Chains out, back over the river. He's fine. Liquid will try and turn their attention towards Thompson, but with No-Tail by his side, they cannot dive up to the high ground. Seb holding them back.
5 Liquid heroes in the mid lane. Trying to brawl again at the same time as last game. It's 13 minutes in, and there's 9 heroes or 8 heroes positioned around this area. They want to go for No-Tail, but he's got ulti.
Miracle's going to continue to chase this under the Titcher, and they will get it. Seb is trying to turn. The missile is out onto Kuro. Does Seb have the burst? Not quite. Magnetizes out, and Seb has to retreat. Shackle does latch. Liquid, they've got the lockdown, they've got the roll forward, the kickback, they'll crush him. It's Liquid. They're diving again.
They want top.
They got a bit of a flavor of how OG was playing in these last 2 games, and they're saying we could do it too. Thompson post the cooldown. They won't go too crazy. They'll let him live. They don't want to dive up towards the tier 3. They know TPs are coming in.
They have to make sure they're hitting the tower because the side lanes are being split push. Ana as well as JerAx are actually pressuring these other 2 towers. And they're not even going to get this one here. It's down into deny range. OG might just be able to deny that mid tower if they choose to do so. Liquid with an overzealous dive there, not losing anybody, but the side lanes giving a lot to that Tiny as well as that IO. And we know the timing is all about just waiting for IO to get not only Aghanims, but get that level 15 talent. That's what OG wants.
He's diving in onto Kuro with the flak as well. Hand of God will not keep Chen alive today.
GH will not get TP'd out. JerAx actually TP's in and gets the toss up in the exact timing.
And OG's actually not done, as they are still hunting for action. Miracle, the focus. Thompson's got a DD. A power shot does come out. Lands on Thompson.
Bit too aggressive there from Thompson. He'll throw down the call down just to clear the
The Shackle actually reaches across the trees, but No-Tail. He's there with a shield. Thompson goes with the TP out. The focus fire, but they have the damage. It's not enough. Thompson saved.
Normally.
A spray on the way out. Thompson will escape. Liquid, it's 9-6 in their favor, but the net worth difference, it's pretty much even. As you say, sure, Liquid, they are bringing the aggression, finding the kills, but space is being given to those important members of OG.
Yeah, especially Ana. halfway to that Aghanims already. Level 11 finished up. He's got the Spirits applied slow, so he can fight as soon as he has that Aghanims, of course, with the talent, but the big one is that 15, that extra Spirit Hero damage that does come out. But yeah, look at this immediately. Seb now positioned up top. He wants to push the top tower as soon as Liquid is positioned in mid. And Jarek's already looking to set up down towards the bottom lane. Liquid have to just get these towers. Have to get some type of map advantage here.
Once Anna has the Aghanims, things are going to start getting very tricky for Liquid when they turn up like this.
Yeah.
The Spirits will be out.
Yeah, and they have Bristle. That's a good thing, right? Bristle can be good versus the IO. If you can get on top of him, the goo. You don't have the highest armor traditionally on the IO, but he's versus an actual counter. Timbersaw, very good versus Bristle back at all stages.
Radiant structures are fortified.
It's just that farm game, OG.
Got mind control. Looking towards Seb up top, but it's hard really for these heroes without the shackle shot or GH getting a beautiful angle. It's very hard for them to kill Seb.
It's very hard for them to kill pretty much anybody if they don't have Weehaw. If they can catch some of the supports and running around by themselves, they can maybe pick them up, but they really need Weehaw for the damage. The rest of them do not really provide that at this point in the game versus what they're against. Magnetize can be good, but there's a lot of ways that they can deal with it. Not only with the tankiness of how they are, but also there's an advantage when you just remove it a lot of the times.
And Seb, he can just get away with this. Pushing this wave into the tier 2 every single time. Knowing that, sure, if Liquid do come for him, it's going to be so many of their resources that it's probably going to be worth it for OG to have Seb positioned that aggressively and for him to draw that much attention towards him. Thompson's getting space, Anna's getting space.
Look at that build by Thompson. Diffusal Gyrocopter.
Wait, what?
Diffusal? Gyrocopter.
Treads Diffusal Gyrocopter. Fancy that, Thompson.
So
doing something I don't think I've ever seen this.
I mean, it's interesting because it's going to provide a lot of mana burn, which is going to be annoying for Liquid.
Okay.
It gives you a lot of agility, and it gives you ways to run around and chase heroes down, I guess. It's different.
They've got the kill squad getting mobile again.
They can transition this into a Roche. DD Rune on the Bristleback, they've got Pipe. Yeah, they can easily do this one with the Medallion as well. However, OG, they know what's going on. They can look to contest this as well as, do they have the Aghanims finished up? It's almost there for Ana. And they're pinging it. Now they're aware of it, but it looks like it's almost too low for them to contest with all this minus armor. Liquid will get away with this one.
Let's see what they can do with it. Aegis, Pipe, they have those early tools to start making moves. Start looking towards some of these tier 2 towers.
Ags is complete now on the IO. So Ags IO finished, and we're about to hit 20 minutes. So I'm assuming that OG is going to buy the tome, give it to that IO so he gets the extra spirit damage. Liquid, they got to group up and try to get something big here. They got to catch out these backlines heroes. They really have to get on top of the IO with a nice shackle shot in front. We got to focus fire him. They have to control and stun the IO.
Hunting for Ana. Won't quite find, but definitely, yeah, thinking about it, this Diffusal Blade, I see what you mean. It does make sense, right? There is, you look at what Miracle and Mind Control in particular.
They're completely dependent on their mana.
And they're dependent on the fights being drawn out, right? Yeah. They revel in situations where the fight continues. And sure, they can't kill them quickly necessarily, OG, but Thompson, he can, but he's going to take their mana away, and they're going to be essentially sort of these useless, tanky targets on the front that OG can then ignore and look for the more volatile kills.
And he's acting as this super frontliner. And Bristleback is a hero that if you don't have mana, you don't have damage. So if he's just going to be burning the Bristle, I can see it. I can see it. And he's super farmed, and look how tanky he is. 2,000 HP on the Gyro. There's going to be an MKB finish now for Weehaw, so his damage is going to be very high as Seb's getting slowed down. He's got greaves available, but he's getting burst.
And they're bringing him low. He's got the shield. Now they'll be able to turn. Cooldown's dropped down by Thompson. And here we have it. Miracle. Mana's gone. He's able to pop the stick, get it a fair bit of it back, and he's able to head back in, pushing OG back behind the racks. They're getting a good amount of damage onto this tier 3 tower. Liquid. They push on.
On IO. That spirit hero damage is there now. Ana gonna join the fray finally.
There we have it. Miracle's mana. It's pretty much entirely gone by Thompson's focus. He'll look towards GH. He can't get out. There's no mana. GH! He's dead. And now OG They have that numbers advantage for this defense. They'll try and change the ball. Thompson, the rocket barrage brings Miracle down. Then the Shackle turnaround. They're looking for Jarek. Jarek's backing away. Thompson focusing Miracle. Miracle's still out of mana because of this defusal. Jarek, he's in with the combo. The GA is out. Weehaw will fall though. The magic damage is there from Thompson. Miracle's trying to run. Another stick charge pop, but Jarek can shut him off. In fact, Jarek, he's ready to try and look for more potentially. There's only the once.
They go for the back line.
Thompson, he's on top of Kuro. Another cooldown's there. The toss back into the combo. Jarek has the control. They're all getting picked apart as mind control falls. Miracle is surrounded.
And they're all dead.
Able to get this as well. OG, they will hold.
And they're even taunting. They toss him to the dragon. Holy crap. Thompson, the defusal. The defusal is absolutely working. Burns all their mana.
But I don't think anyone would have expected to see Gyro, the deciding game. The defusal blade Gyro, it is perfect.
Look at his
this point of the match.
He just did an insane amount of damage, front lines the entire time, and then Ana just has free reign to get all that spirit hero damage, and it's back completely the other way, and it feels like the control is just gone from
What do you do? When your mana's gone, what do you do?
Oh my god. OG starting to take over the game completely here.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Showing new ways to play the game at this incredibly late moment in the tournament.
And now Thompson has an Aghanim as well, so not only is his regular hits going to be proccing that... yeah, he's going to be burning a lot of mana.
And then just moving into the base now, OG. They're pushing in. Flag starts to force Liquid back. They'll focus Miracle. Miracle, he'll get himself out and away. The missile is out. They're trying to put the heals to save him, but Miracle's dead. He doesn't have buyback. Jax is in with the combo. They'll bring down GH. GH has buyback. He'll buy back immediately. Weehar's going to be back up in 5. Fortification is part, but OG, they're not going away.
They're too healthy. They still have greeds available for Seb as well this whole time. They're pretty... No-tail's kind of low, but once they pop those greeds, everyone's going to be topped off.
A tier 3's going down, 22 minutes again, and in a match where it looked like Liquid had the pace to maybe bring something different, but we're back to the same place that we were in Game 2 and Game 3.
There's no stones for GH, he can't contribute anything, there's no magnetides either. They're just taking this rack easily.
It's gone! They cannot get close to hold this. As OG, we'll see what the plan is next. They'll back off.
They're happy with that, why not? They can back up, clean up shrines, but I think if Liquid chases out, OG can definitely just turn and look for the fight. They have no cooldowns that they're waiting on. Everything is available for them, and they're just so farmed right now at this point in the game that Liquid, they're walking out together, but like I was mentioning before, there's one stone on GH, and that is it. So his team fight potential, and he's pretty much the only team fighter on the side of Liquid right now, is just not there.
And OG's ready to go back and again. Jarek's in with the wrap around the combo down onto mind control. The cooldown's there. Liquid out to back off. Again, mind control's mana pretty much got. He's able to pop the stick, get the GA off at least. Can they fight for the duration of it though? They're getting towards Seb. Wheels the pop, sends back pretty much up to 4. Jarek's in with another combo onto Weehaw. Weehaw stand up. Weeha's dead. Miracle's the new focus. The missile follows through. OG pushing Liquid back to the base. Mind control out of mana. Thompson with his diffuser blade picking them apart. Roll fall for GH for Seb. Cuts him down. Double kill. They're pushing on OG. Liquid getting forced back to the base as Liquid have nothing. They have nothing to offer, folks.
They're just giving, look at this, they're diving Fountain in TI finals. They want Kuroki in the Fountain as well. They're gonna get him, they're chasing Miracle as well. Oh my god.
I can't believe this. I can't believe what we're seeing in this Game 4. OG, you thought you saw it all in Game 2, you thought you saw it all in Game 3, there it is, gold! OG are your 2-time TI champions, they've done it, folks!
And in what a fashion! These last 3 games didn't even seem close. Liquid, they had something going for themselves, but then they hit the brick wall. OG is the best team in the world. They are on a completely different level.
No question, they are so far ahead of anybody else that plays this game for a living. Game 2, 3, and 4 were absolutely ridiculous. The showing was magical from OG.
They just seem to know exactly what to do with whatever draft they're giving. It doesn't matter. They have so many different drafts, so many different play styles. They can execute all of them. Liquid seemed like they stood no chance after that first game.
And they've earned their money. $15 million, just over it, in fact, going the way of OG for this victory, on top of the $11 million they won last year.
Unbelievable performance by them, and in such a style. Busting out the carry IO in the final game, having a Timbersaw that they haven't played too much at all either. These guys can play anything.
They absolutely can. Innovators magicians bringing something new to the game, and when it counts the most in the grand finals. Game 1 was shaky, we had a bit of fun. Game 2, 3, and 4, they played their hearts out for every single minute of the matches. OG, the best team of all time, and with this, their second TI win. And not just the second TI win, but the second back-to-back. They do it 2 years in a row. There is no question that we are witnessing the best team of all time.
I'm at a loss of words from the way that they played this. It was just an absolute beatdown. They're just way too good at Dota.
And this sort of accomplishment, the first team to do it, 2 times back-to-back. The thing that so many TI winners in the past have dreamt of. Winning 1 TI, of course, is fabulous, but to do 2, that was always the goal for all of our previous champions. And here, in 2019, the International 2019, OG are the ones to do it first. The 2-time TI champions, OG, ladies and gentlemen. And here we have it. The team, I believe, preparing to lift up what is rightfully theirs for the second time in a row. There he is, Seb himself, leading the crew up to the podium. You cannot help but be awestruck by what this team has shown us in this entire run, in these 2 years, and now in the grand finals. Ladies and gentlemen, it's OG!
恭喜他们，恭喜欧记再次获得 TI 的冠军，夺得2019年国际邀请赛的冠军。来，让我们问一下 Nota 好吧？哇，他们非常的开心，和家人在庆祝自己这一刻的兴奋。OK， Nota。OK， so 那我相信在这一刻，他们作为卫冕冠军，并且再次夺得 TI 冠军，一定有很多话想说。那我们先来问一下，队长 Nota 现在有什么话想对他们的粉丝和对 Dota 2的粉丝们讲的吧？来，有请我们的翻译 Josh。已经被围在了人群当中。Okay. Here, I got him. Noto. Sorry, but Noto, yeah. So, we're gonna ask you 2 questions. So the first one, please.
First of all, you're the first player. You guys are the first players to ever win 2-time TI champions. As the captain of this team, how does it feel right now?
It's very hard to believe, man. It's extremely hard to believe, but it's too good to be true, and it feels just the same. It feels so good, man.
好的，那么第二个问题，想问一下 Nota， 此时此刻有什么想对自己的家人和队友们说的呢？
就刚刚我还是翻译一下吧。Notel 刚刚说就是真的难以置信，然后这一次第二次跟第一次还是一样的感觉，真的是太棒了。然后刚
有什么想对粉丝和家人队友们说的
？And then second, what do you have to say to your fans, friends, family at home?
Thank you everyone for making this possible. This is a dream, and I'm an animal apparently.
好了，我们就 我们最后把掌声和欢呼声送给 OG， 恭喜他们再次获得了国际邀请赛的冠军，恭喜你们 ！Okay, thank you everyone, thank you for the amazing TI.
You love to see it, surrounded by friends and family and their teammates and their team organization. OG back-to-back international champions. Not just two-time champions of the international, no. Back-to-back. Let that sink in for a little bit. That is phenomenal. That is absolutely amazing, Trent.
They are infectious. I can't wipe the stupid grin off my face. I couldn't do it when they first won TI because I know just like the love, the trust that these guys have between each other, between their families, everyone there supporting them, and to think that they were just able to do it again. And the way that they stayed in that booth, you know? They're not busting open the door. They're not running to see everyone else because it's what's in there, you know, that counts. They got them there again.
It's unbelievable what this team managed to do in the end. 2 times winning TI, and the Dota for them, Dota for pretty much all of us is life. Dota is love, and we should just keep playing the game. I can't believe that what we just witnessed.
I mean, just look at the way that they won, and they come out. And poor Dove, she's like trying to get the interview going, and the team cares nothing about that. They just care about sharing this happiness with each other, sharing this happiness with their family that has supported them through this very tough road that they originally had to go through to win the TI. I'm sure it feels a little bit easier the second time around, but God, this is just what an insane way to be able to just go through just rutted people nonstop.
I mean, it must just
good
be
dotes.
like just a wave, right? Of like each thing hitting you. It's like, oh my God, we did it. We won TI again. And it's like, oh my God, we just won all this money again. Oh my God, I'm going to be Carry Io on the Aegis. Like, so many things are flying through there right now.
It feels like waking up from this moment over and over again. You can't believe that you actually did it, and there you are once again.
Seb, again.
There's multiple generations support there, as JerAx is there with his dad, but he also brought his mom, his sister, and his grandma. 3 generations of JerAx is on the stage, and it's amazing that they get to witness it from very far. Something not known to a lot of people is that when the possible final game happens, for both sides, all the friends and family is like they've been giving a spot like on the floor, on the stage floor, so that they can witness it super close by, but also so that they can either be there to share the happy moment or be there to share the sad moment. And of course, in OG's case, they were cheering and rowdy the last game as OG was once again very dominant in their IO performance.
There's
what an achievement.
So many great storylines that get wrapped up in this. No Tail pushing Seb forward. He tells him to claim the Aegis. Like, this is every player's dream. Do you remember when Kuro won the Aegis? He wouldn't let go of that thing. He clutched to it. He desperately held on to that Aegis no matter what. And the fact that No Tail pushes Seb forward, just like he said in his interview, he said, I'm dedicating this tournament to Seb. That friendship meant everything in the world to him, and that's why he gives Seb the opportunity to be the first one to hoist the Aegis for the team.
Yeah, 5 days ago they put that Aegis on the throne, and now they're taking it back again, and they deserve it. They are best team in the world, and probably they are the best team that we ever witnessed in Dota for sure.
It's such a fun playstyle to be able to go. What a good team for Dota too, and how fitting that IO carry is the one that is going to be on all the Aegises. That's going to be there because it all starts with the story of being able to be able to trust your teammates, right? They want to be able to do something and being able to just fearlessly say, go for it.
It embodies their style. From the tethering to one another to the, we never practiced this, let's put it on the group stage and destroy it.
And it's working out, you know. We've all seen TrueSight. You know, we all know in what fashion they won the first time round. It's like, what do you like to play? You know, that was the style. Not what is good here or something, or not what is the strategy. No, what would you like to play in the final game of the grand finals of the international? And that is saying a lot.
I've heard that Johan's a big fan of Wings and still looks back and watches those games. And I think it's kind of evident in their play style, because I get those. No other team has made me have those emotions and thoughts watching a game where I'm just like so befuddled, but so insanely impressed. And I'm just like, what are these guys doing? How is it working? And they're catching everyone off guard now. They just have the full-on respect of 2 years.
Yep. And we saw Anna with that Aegis. This is his third international. It's all been OG all the way for him. Third international, second Aegis. So impressive. And of course, tops on 2 international. I don't think that there is ever going to be anyone to repeat that. 2 internationals, back-to-back, 2 champions.
I thought
they can do it next year, huh?
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's the question. To me, I look at these guys and I say, they want the 3-peat. I see it already. I mean, there's no way they're slowing down now.
I have a quote from JerAx that I think is pretty cool. He said, we aren't doing anything special. Nobody can be perfect. All we're doing is taking it tournament by tournament, game by game. If you look too far ahead, you lose yourself.
Well, he's wrong. They are perfect.
This is perfect. This is special. This is something else, man.
I mean, I asked before the series, before the grand finals, all internationals have something that you remember it by. Something's good, something's bad. But in this case, back-to-back, double-time international champions, that's a crazy story on itself.
And it was a pure dominance by OG, without a doubt. They could have taken this 3-0 easily. It looked like they had game number 1 even in the bag. And, I mean, they deserve the clap.
Yeah.
They really did. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hey, what an international, huh?
It's the end of an era. This is we will now look at Dota 2 as before OG and after OG. TI9 was it's a defining moment in our game's history that after so many years we finally not only had a consecutive winner but the first successful defense of the Aegis.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say. They are just that good. It's an honor to watch them play. Like, they're just changing how Dota is and how people are going to see Dota. Like, it is that fun game. You can play it with your friends, and hey, maybe you end up winning the Aegis sometime. Probably not, but OG did it, and it's amazing to watch them do that.
They keep the dream alive.
All the curses are broken now, right? No more East-West Aegis?
But now there's
there's
a new curse. Can the East win?
Is OG ever going to let go of that Aegis, Purge?
Maybe. It's possible. I mean, they had a mediocre year, was one thing. Still ended up winning TI. I just love the pattern change, or the pattern similarities. They were dominant during the major series. They never won a TI. They won a TI, and now they win a second TI. It's like they've just solidified themselves. We used to have discussions, are they the best team of all time? You just can't doubt it anymore. They had a crazy period of dominance at multiple points now for multiple years.
They really did. And, when we look back, we see a back-to-back champion. When Slacks look back, he says, Wind Ranger lost. Right, Slacks?
That's you.
Hey, guys. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm a little taken with emotion right now. Seeing that Aegis be off the stand, seeing TI9 come to a close. Casey, it's been an incredible year.
It's been so fantastic, and this is reminding me why Dota is so amazing. It's about family and friendships and community and the whole frickin' world coming together and watching an amazing game being played. So
absolutely. I mean, it is not hard for me to say. I believe we have the greatest game in the world, the greatest community in the world, and all year long it's been building up to this and another international. Guys, it's about them. But really, it's about you at home watching every single year and supporting this fantastic game. So, from the bottom of me and Casey's hearts, I know we want to say thank you for always supporting and making these dreams possible. Because I'm not sure anyone's ever going to do that dream again, girl.
That's so sweet. And thank you. You're so fun to work with.
We give each other a lot of scruff, but we have a great time. So, with all that sappy stuff out of the way, let's go make a confetti angel. Yay!
All right, I almost thought, wow, Slacks is being serious. It is so nice and sweet.
The mic, Slacks.
Bye! See ya, TI10.
See ya, TI10. Thank you guys. You've been amazing as always. It's time to close this chapter of Dota 2. Time to close the International 2019. I wanna hear some final closing thoughts from you guys, Trent.
It's always difficult to close TI because